Hello. What's a fly with no wings called? A crash! Oh, excuse me. Okay, an introduction to Chapter 27 by the Middler Rebbe, Shaar HaEmunah, and the Gate of Faith, Kabbalah of Faith, the Gateway to Faith. What happens over here? So I got a basic question for you in order to let you know what happens. Can the godly soul, which is truly a part of God above, experience an aliyah? Meaning, can it actually ascend? Meaning, can it experience greater godliness? Or does it basically stay put? Is it like, okay, it's experiencing godliness, it's experiencing God, it sees the essence of God, so how does it move from that position? If you're seeing essence, what more is there to see? Or does it actually ascend and see more of essence? But essence is essence. So what is it? The answer is, if you answered, he stays put, if you answered, he moves and ascends, the godly soul does, and ding, 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 you got it correct. So chapter 27 over here is to tells us a lot of things about the connection between the Nefesh HaElokis and the Nefesh HaTivius, and a distinct reason why the Nefesh HaTivius, through the specific work of getting refined, through the rational soul, which is the Nefesh HaTivius, getting refined, why that experiences an even greater aliyah, an even greater ascension than what does experience the Nefesh HaElokis, the godly soul. How is that possible? The Nefesh HaTivius is in this world. The Nefesh HaElokis is up above. If something's up above and it's experiencing godliness and a great light and it can ascend, seemingly there's no limits to its ascension. It can go up and up and up and on and on and on. So why is it down here in this world the Nefesh HaTivius can experience a greater aliyah? And that is we'll get to right away at the beginning of the mimer, is because of where the Nefesh HaTivius is rooted. Right. So because it's rooted in actually a higher place than what the Nefesh HaElokis is rooted in terms of its source, as a result of that, when the Nefesh HaTivius is activated, the rational soul is activated to the way in which it needs to be activated, it actually experiences a higher aliyah, a greater aliyah, and it brings down a greater light into this world than what can happen when the Nefesh HaElokis experiences an aliyah. And as we're going to find out, one is dependent upon the other. That what the Nefesh HaElokis accomplishes and the godly soul accomplishes in experiencing godliness, it actually helps the Nefesh HaTivius to experience an aliyah. And same thing too when the Nefesh HaTivius is refined. Ayadeh, what the Nefesh HaElokis does to it and works on it. And the Nefesh HaTivius, as a result of that work, is experiencing in a great aliyah, then it too it goes up and up on high as a result of the Nefesh HaElokis working on it. And when the Nefesh HaTivius gets higher, then the Nefesh HaElokis can go, oh my gosh, man, look at what's going on down there. Whoa, everything is pure, so on and so forth. So, then the question that's going to come up is, well, how does that happen? What connects the Nefesh HaElokis with the Nefesh HaTivius? We're going to find out that it's what's called the Pirkei Atzelim, which the Arizal introduces to us, or the Middler Rebbe introduces to us of this concept by way of the writings of the Arizal. And Hatzelem is a form of protection. It's like a shadow of protection. It's referenced to in Parshas Shalach, when the Meraglim over said their Tzelem is, their protection is something like it's upon them, or it's still with them very much, and our protection is gone. We won't be able to battle these guys. So that's the reference to Pirkei Atzelim over here. That the Pirkei Atzelim is the mamutza, the go-between between the Nefesh HaElokis and the Nefesh HaTivius, and it's able to connect the light in order that the godly light of the Nefesh HaElokis is able to come down and bring about a greater aliyah for the Nefesh HaTivius through way of its being purified. So, how is it that just because it's down here in this world it experiences a greater aliyah than the Nefesh HaElokis? That is because it sees elokus. It sees godliness down here in this physical world. And since it is able to see godliness down here in this physical world with a physical and fleshy eye, that is a much higher level than what the ruchnius, what the spiritual state sees. The spiritual state within which the godly soul is existing. The godly soul experiences and sees godliness, however it's on a shmiyastic level. It's on a hearing level, meaning it comprehends it. It understands it, has a chachma, and the Nefesh Elokis gets Elokus by way of perceiving it with its seichel dika eye, with its with its intellectual eye. However, that is not nearly as close as to the level as when the Nefesh Hativius experiences and sees godliness down here in this world. Besari echza Elokah, from my very flesh I perceive Hashem. And so yeah, that's basically the idea of this chapter. And then it's probably going to go, actually in this chapter in 27, it goes into how Uriah and why it's higher than Shmiya, and that's going to go on explain as has been the theme of the last few chapters, and we'll explain later on in chapter 28.